나요, 나요, 나요. I I 하이요 하이야 하이야 헤이 혼나야 해 오오오 내야 해 나야 너의 Jennifer says, good morning. I feel better just joining. Maggie says, good morning. So beautiful. Caitlin says, hi. Let's take a deep breath, everyone, together and celebrate where we are right now in the cycle of time. Just take a deep breath. There's something called, in ancient traditions, locating yourself in time and space. And this is why we, called the four directions. But before I go into that with spirit, I'm holding a candle flame because it's Beltane, and Beltane is a symbol of the fire, the light, the fertility, returning to the earth. Yeah. Returning to the north where time was. Good morning, Neil. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have a lot of regular energy today, people who are here every week. I can feel always the different frequencies when there's people who come often and then the people who are new. If you're new, welcome. I am in deep honoring of this time of the year. Beltane is one of my favorite cross-quarter holidays. It is the halfway point between the equinox and the summer solstice. Not yet in the full fires of summer, but there are fire festivals when we follow the wheel of the year. And this time of Beltane, May Day, is a celebration of fertility, is a celebration of the union of the masculine and feminine, is a celebration of a reminder literally to celebrate on the earth and to sing and dance and play. And as I was drawing, I woke up this morning and this last week, by the way, I've been like, oh, I have some space in my calendar. That's kind of unusual, you know? I had some clients I'm starting with new clients, but they all ironically wanted to start in 2 weeks around the full moon. They were like, and then I had another client that was like, can we push to next week, you know? So I have a pack of 3 people, new people. You guys always come in groups when you work with me. And that's all manifesting mid-May. I also, and let me just tell you something really quick. I also have a song coming out on Spotify. If you guys look up Michelle Infinity on Spotify, I'm going to have a new track coming out, and I really welcome your support and following me on Spotify while I launch into this next phase of my life, my career. And I have one song out there that's actually on Insight Timer right now. It's called Krishna Mantras for Universal Love. Really deep prayer. That song came out in a really good way for a friend. I've told that story before. But why am I saying all of that? Because in the wake of the Scorpio full moon mid-May, I have a lot of, there's a lot of burst of energy, and I want you to be conscious of that as we move into together the truth of, well, what do we do right now? Like what are we in right now to do together to collectively? And I feel, how many of you, like myself, maybe need to be reminded to take time to play, to work less, and to honor yourself, and to restore yourself, and to rest once in a while, and to take some space. And the transits right now, astrologically, as well as where we're at in the wheel of the year, they're all representative of take some time for celebration. And I know there's a lot of outer chaos in the field and on the news and all these things, but if we can restore and have some celebration time in our own being and in our own selves, then we can feel fortified so that the outer world doesn't take from us. And while I'm holding this candle, I'm going to share one more thing and then we'll tune in together. I'm wearing a kimono today. I've got clothes on underneath, so don't don't worry. But I just got a new kimono, so I'm learning how to wear it. What else did I want to say? I wanted to say something that came up with I've had a particular student, and you guys have showed me probably met her at a different point. Her name is Soshi. She's an acupuncturist. She's a doctor of Oriental medicine. And she's been in my field and my work for like 3 years. And yesterday we had a one-on-one call, which we don't really have anymore, but there was a lot of teachings that came through about the nourishment of our inner life and the split that we can sometimes make between our spiritual life and the part of us that interfaces with the world. How do you guys all feel about everything I'm saying? By the way, you guys are more than welcome to add your input at any point, or ask questions, or say hello, and then we'll get started and we'll do some singing together and prayers and maybe a little bit of vocal exercises. Let me just take a moment, and I'm going to listen really quick. Maybe we'll call in the guides. I think I can feel the energy changing. Mm. Uh-huh. Yes, sir. Mm. So beautiful. This happened exactly. You've totally noticed that split. That's beautiful. I'm waiting to be inside myself more. That's beautiful, Jennifer. When I was speaking to Soshi yesterday, so much came through, but very much actually, like when I started talking to her, this other energy kind of came in. And I was like, oh, I'm being pulled back. I have to channel now. And it's the same thing happening exactly now. And this is the truth of how I work, which is I'm not a medium per se, meaning I don't like see a personification of the guides that I work with. But I feel when they're asking me to attune to something beyond the chatter mind, And that's what we do collectively here is we sync up with ourselves internally, with each other in this beautiful collective etheric temple space that we weave together, and with the infinite, with these guides and angels and ancestors. And it really just takes a shift of focus in order to do that. So let's imagine for a moment, I'm just going to adjust myself here, that we can shift our focus together, that we can invite in the guides, the ascended masters, the saints and sages of all religions, opening to Great Spirit, to the great mystery that we bow to, that we don't know, but we feel and sense and are devoted to with our whole hearts and our whole loves. And only in that synergy, when we are connected to that truth in ourselves, do we feel as if we are whole. This is the same essence of Bhakti Yoga, which is the yoga of devotion and the yoga of singing mantra and chants of the holy names, so that we can find our oneness with our eternal self and wipe away all of the mire, all of the dust of the personality, so that we drop into that center and remember who we truly are. Now, just to go to the teaching for a moment, when I was speaking last night with my beautiful student, talking about the split that some of us have between our inner spiritual life and our outer face that we wear to the world, it's not that we're bringing our most tender part into the world for all to see. And I've been playing with that too, about how vulnerable do I want to be in the content I create. So it's not that you're giving your innocence or your inner child or the most tender, unhealed part of yourself out to the world. You protect that and you have boundaries. And it's not that you're putting out to the world your most hardened, mask-like persona, but instead, you in your center are in the witness. You are neutral. You are aspecting your higher self, your psyche, your consciousness from this grounded, beautiful space. This is tuning to wisdom. This is tuning to your higher nature. This is tuning to our higher truth. And so we say, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasangate, Bori, Soha. So we're asking to be brought into the infinite. And with that, we call to the direction of the north, the saints, the sages, the ancestors, the grandmothers and the grandfathers, the wisdom of the buffalo, and winter and going within and stillness. We thank you for your patience. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your devotion and for your presence in our circle today. We call you in, and we are so grateful for your commitment to us. And so we offer our commitment to you. So bow your heads, because the grandmothers and the grandfathers, they love that. They love to be honored and to be known and listened to for their wisdom. So think of that energy, that grandfatherly energy in your life, or grandmotherly energy in your life. And where does that exist in you? And feel into that and breathe into that. As we attune to that truth. Yes, good. Great job, everybody. I can feel our collective so strong right now. To the west, the waters. We're inviting in the waters. Now, the record keepers are these dolphins and whales, these singer spirits, and all of the beautiful life that lives in the rivers and the oceans and the sea. And so we imagine the vastness and the depth of the great mystery of the ocean that we do not know. And we also invite in bear medicine in this place, this transforming of going within the season of fall. There's a lot of change that happens here. And so we're grateful for that energy of introspection and the turn of one cycle to another. And so thank you so much for this energy and this truth that you are. And we are so grateful to receive your wisdom in our circle today. Thank you to the waters of our bodies, and all around this world. Taking some space to breathe into that. Loving how every time we call, it's always a different tone, and we are so honored for that recognition. And now moving to the south. So in the south lives the coyote, the wolf, and also the totem of the snake shedding skin. Everything transformation everywhere. But here there's this flowering open and this full bloom energy, summer and fire. and the festivals of the light and celebration and play, the energy of play. And so we want to call in this energy of play into our hearts right now, into our circle, into our oneness, and just really so grateful and like feel the love and the hug and the sweetness from this beautiful energy of the summer and its nourishment and its festival nature, and it's wrapping itself around you in your heart. And moving over to the bird tribes of the east, to the winged ones, to the rising sun, that signifies everything always begins again after it goes around. And there's this beautiful rising up. There's this beautiful asking for more as the prayers get carried on the wings of the angels and the doves and the eagles and the hawks and the owls and the ravens and all of the winged ones. And we imagine in this moment that we can expand the wings on our back. Imagine your shoulder blades, your arms, the structure of you that is energetic and etheric expands, and your wingspan opens wide. And you yourself are carrying your own prayers, offering them up to the infinite for at least this next hour that we are being together in temple space and honoring what it is to be in ceremony and prayer together. And remember that we have wings to walk as if we have wings in this world. And so we say, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasam, Gate, Bodhi, Soha. We ask to be gone, gone, gone beyond the beyond. All hail the goer. We make an offering of our own consciousness of where we're at right now in this world, in this time, locating ourselves in time and space, and calling all of our power back just now in our hearts in this moment. And now we open to the great above, to great spirit, to the great mystery, to the infinite eternal nature of consciousness. All of the stories and the archetypal energies, everything in the Akashic records that is for you at this time to know and be revealed. We invite in all the saints, the sages, the bodhisattvas, the ascended masters. Call in your ascended master today. Call in your angelic frequencies of consciousness. I almost wanted to say a joke like, smoke them if you got them, which means like, all of the beings that you work with, all of the beings that are your friends, all of the guides and beloved departed loved ones, and all of the beautiful higher beings that might be in the invisible world that you have access to, that you walk around your whole entire life, a whole entire day, and maybe don't like pay as much attention to. I invite you in this moment to really call their presence to you now. And feel that for a moment. We're just going to tune into calling them close. Effortless. Law of least effort. Feeling all of the beings that you have allieships with. Bring your awareness to your heart. Invite it to shed what it no longer needs. So now, as you gently feel all of your guides and your angels surrounding you, and I'm particularly feeling that some of you are having some throat chakra release, some sadness, some sorrow, some feeling like your self-expression has been tightened or choked, and there's some grief really coming up that is offering that out, expelling all of that. As you feel, maybe you feel in this moment a recognition that you're not as alone as you had thought, from feeling this very familiar energy surrounding you in your energy currents right now. And if that's not coming up for you, that's okay. But I'm just sensing that in the field. And so for those who it speaks to, I invite you to really drop into that. And what's your relationship between your throat and your heart? Meaning, do you speak? Do you speak from your heart? Do you speak your truth? You know, the Vishuddha chakra, this means purification. You want to always speak what's real. And that has to do with that teaching that we started with at the beginning, which means putting on a mask. And maybe we'll get more into that. But first, I want to ground our circle and say thank you so much to the angelic order, the beings, the guides, the bodhisattvas. And now we're going to bring our attention, our awareness to Mother Earth and to the grounding energy that is beneath us, that is holding this entire grounded, rooted ceremony, and that we are offering ourselves as we walk in the beauty way on this earth. We walk often, and we walk true, and we walk in service, and we honor Pachamama and all of the plants and the medicines and our diets, and we honor this world. And so we want to give a little grounding energy, a little boo out the grounding cord so we can really feel ourselves anchored and root. We went very high up with the infinites, and so we want to ground that down. So let's do a few grounding tones just to unfurl the root chakra down into the earth. I'd love for you to do that with me. So feel your root chakra, feel the base of your body touch the floor. And if your hips, if your roots could make a sound, it doesn't have to be a beautiful sound. It can kind of sound like an exasperated, but if you want to just rock your hips, for those of you who might be sitting on the floor, if you're standing, feel your feet on the earth. Maybe take a moment to actually feel your volcano power, your roots, your vessels, all of the energy of the earth, of Pachamama, and then feel that energy coming up inside your hips, inside your tailbone, and allow yourself to ah. Let's do 2 more of those. Deep breath. Beautiful. I can feel us almost there. We're going to do one more grounding and let's see if we really lock in to the center of the earth. There it is. Good job, everyone. Let's just be in stillness for a moment, and I invite you to make any sounds that feel really good to yourself right now, and imagine that sound current running up your body. So I'll give you an example of what that looks like for those of you who might be new or unfamiliar with a practice like this. And so this is imagining that your energetic body your sound rather, can kind of move through your energetic body and wash yourself clean, wash your psyche, kind of rinsing your work field with your own voice. And it's very simple, right? But really doing it, the embodiment of attuning to it and really doing it. I can say the words, but can you feel the frequency and allow that frequency to wash over your whole being? Because that's the play. I was gonna say it's the work, but it's the play. So as we go, you'll watch me, and then let's see if you can do that too. Okay, ready? So. Sometimes you get extra stuff in there. It doesn't have to be pretty. You could be like, maybe you have a bunch of noise in your head, right? And so in order for that noise to get out of your head, you have to actually like lion's breath and be like, you guys all familiar with that? Who are my yogis that are here? Lion's breath. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath. You guys like that? I got some hearts. Ready? One more. And that is a vocal warm-up if I've ever heard one. At the end of calling in the directions, yeah? And with that, our circle is cast and grounded and ethereal. Yay! Choo 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 choo. Super grateful for all of you. How are you all doing with that? Who did the vocal practice with me? Give me some hearts or put some stuff in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. How are you feeling? My little beings. I love teaching, and obviously. And I've been, really grateful because I have a 6-month mentorship group right now. And today I'm working on their Oh, good. I totally do. Thank you so much. Good, good, good. There's 60 of us here right now. Sometimes we get up to like 108. That's our little magic number, our special number. How are you guys feeling? Who felt, by the way, the throat chakra heart connection? I scared my dog, but she's cool now. Yeah, sometimes we can like it's funny, that's a good thing about the mask, it's like our family members, even our dogs, expect us to be a certain way, and then when we're doing some embodiment practices, maybe we're a little bit different. Loving sounding with you. Oh, Maggie, welcome, welcome, Maggie. Who is doing that for the first time, something like that? Who was the first time ever seeing anything like that or doing anything like that? Who loves doing practices like that, embodiment rituals, and who notices that you feel different in your energetic body and your physical body and your mental body? We have these koshas, these different planes of consciousness. So we have a physical body, we have a mental emotional body, and we have that higher self wisdom. I am writing a book, quote unquote, / one of my platforms is called Tuning to Wisdom. And I just put that on Substack. But if you just go to michelleinfinity.substack.com, you can follow me on Substack. And I'm actually taking all of my live stream insight timers and re-uploading them. If you're watching right now on Substack, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. So it's going to have an archive, meaning you guys can go back and listen to these beautiful live streamed things. And what else do I want to say about that? There's poetry on there. There's going to be, when I have different things, courses, I'm going to be doing my newsletter out of that. So it's a really good way to get in touch with me for everything that we do. Jojo says, my first time here. Thank you. My throat has been feeling tight and full. Awesome. Jojo, did you notice that like you were feeling that fullness and tightness? That's a really good way to talk. Those are great adjectives for what I was sensing. And do you notice that there was a constriction between the availability of the energy of the heart to actually move through the throat? Meaning like you may have been choking back words or thoughts. And she says, yes. Okay. Right. Yeah. That's what I was really sensing. We'll do an exercise if you guys want to do, we haven't done this in a long time. So I've changed the name of these to I have vocal empowerment, and then I was doing soul sounds, and now they're called Voice as Vessel. Voice as Vessel is a budding body of work in my arsenal of medicine woman leadership. And it's like Oh, Jennifer says it was like a plug, but it slowly pushed open. And I love it. I love to notice the difference. That one of my favorite. Oh yeah, the difference. That is one of my favorite things. Totally. So let me teach you a little bit about the Voices Vessel body of work. It's one of the first vocal empowerment practices that I downloaded from spirit, meaning like I had an idea and it felt like it came from some other timeline of knowledge besides my own. And it was one of the first things that I started teaching in workshops about 10, 11 years ago. And it was called head to heart practice. So if you notice the chakras, right, we have the Ajna chakra, which is your third eye. We have the Vishuddha chakra, which is your throat chakra, meaning purity or purification. We have the Anahata, the heart chakra, meaning unstruck, like infinitely, like non-damaged, right? The heart chakra, Anahata. They're in a line linearly, yeah. And the voice, what we speak, is really a bridge, yeah, between our head and our heart. And I don't think everybody consciously is aware that that is the truth. Now, when I teach clients, remember, you guys, I'm an energy healer disguised as a coach, right? So I have coaching clients and they're on Zoom and they talk to me and I can see energetically what their predicament is, to use Ram Dass type word, right? Their karmic predicament. I can also hear, right? And I'm not doing this to like be like, oh, I have magic powers. I do, but it's just talking about the precision of like, I can hear in their story where the contractions are. Okay. This is really important. Some of us walk around in our daily lives cut off. We're literally like talking heads. We're not accessing the primal energies. We're not grounded in the earth. We're traumatized and we're balled up in our legs because this is where pain and suffering happens on earth, on the earth plane. Sometimes clients are I see them as, instead of being in the center of themselves, they're kind of subtly like an inch or two off center. And then it comes back about like getting them to ground and be really rooted. What my work does, what these transmissions offer, what the voice energetic somatic practices offer, is coming into true alignment. True alignment is when all of our bodies, our physical body, our mental, emotional body, energetic body, all congruent to allow us to access the highest wisdom body and the soul. This is a system of thought that I grokked, that I downloaded and then found in the Vedas, in the sciences, in the yogic scriptures. And I was like, I knew this. And it's true. It's written about thousands of years ago. Yeah. Before like BC. This is when this was all written down. Same with the songs that we sing together, by the way, in the Upanishads. They're scriptures that are from like 500 BC. And songs we're singing when we sing the Purnamada song that I'm going to release on Spotify. I looked it up for when that was written originally. It's I'll sing it to you. And it says, Oh, Purnamada, Purnamida, Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Namakaya Purnameva Vashisha He. That mantra is a Shanti mantra written between 1500 BCE. It means, and this is, I'm so excited, guys. This is the song that I'm releasing on Spotify on May 16th. I'm really excited. And it took years in the making. Maybe I'll tell the stories about that. But anyway, the meaning of the mantra. And for those of you who are on Insight Timer and have taken my mantra course, you know I geek out about the meaning of the mantra. Yeah. The meaning of the mantra, this is witchcraft. I feel mantra attunes us to a frequency that is true and remembers where we are one with that truth. And so the meaning of this truth is this is whole, that is whole, or infinite or full. When you take something from me, wholeness, only wholeness remains. Or another way to say that is you would still remain the same. The way this mantra came to me was in an ayahuasca ceremony after one of my dear friends had died. And he was like early 40s. So it was kind of a surprising, crossing over. I can tell many layers of stories about that, and I actually write about that. And I give an audio transmission on Substack. So I was writing notes in my journal, my little voice memos, and I recognized that my 8-minute voice memo was a transmission. And so I put that raw, all of my heart, uncut, unedited on Substack, and then I wrote a little description about the song. One of my friends had passed, and I heard during when this mantra was singing, it was so silent, a pin could drop. And I heard him whisper in my ear, "But do you forgive me?" And it was, do I forgive him from leaving, for crossing over? But the meaning when I, after the ceremony, went to look for that, I realized that was the teaching. The teaching is when someone leaves or something in our lives is removed. Pluto transits bring stuff like that, where it's like, I've lost everything, but you haven't, because you are intrinsically whole. There is a piece of you that is eternal and connected to all of life. And if you remember who you are, if you remember Purna, this essence of fullness within you, then no matter what gets taken from you, you are still inherently, you would still remain the same. And I was baffled and mystified. This probably was 2014 when I had this experience. Then around 2018, in 2018, I started singing this in the shower. And when I was singing this, I was like, it's different than the way the mantra came out. I wanted like a drum and bass version. And I can still see myself like singing it on stage. And it's like, wow, 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 wow. Purnamada, wow, 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 wow. Purnamida, wow, 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 wow. Purnamada, dwa, dwa, dwa. This is whole. Because I think, and maybe it's just my Scorpio nature, we can get gangster, we can get raw, those big huge drums, like the what are those called, the Japanese ones? Kyoto? No, Kyoto's a place. What are those called, those drums with the Japanese, and they hit them with the giant sticks? That's exactly what I was thinking of. I love that you picked that up, Jennifer. That's really cool. There's I think it begins with a K. Taiko. Thank you, Maggie. The taiko drums. Wah, bah, bah. How tribal and powerful. And I think we're missing a lot of that in our culture, wouldn't you say? About like the other thing, by the way, I want to presence is this teaching about that mantra. And I put this when I like told people on my Instagram channel, which is Michelle Infinity, yesterday. I was like, this is a mantra for those who wrestle with God, who want to connect with God, but wrestle with it, And I am like a pagan, witchy, dark feminine earth mama being. And I believe in a deep way that like our prayers can be demanded and we can do ceremony and we can get visceral and guttural and wild. And that's what Beltane this time of year is really good about, because we have these festivals where the stag chases the maiden and then copulates with her, and it symbolizes like the green man and the goddess, and it's all this like fertile rites of spring, these initiatory qualities that are deep and primal and really truly in our human nature. And I feel like through organized religion, patriarchy, there's been this separation of wanting to control this energy that is the wild, that is the dark feminine, that is the feminine herself, instead of an honoring of her. And that's where we have missed the mark of what natural law reveres in our culture, and why it's so important for us to really come to, I want to say come to Jesus moment, but come to the life itself as being sacred. And imagine if we had our world leaders. There was these AI videos that I saw, one of an artist friend of mine created, and they were like, Donald Trump takes ayahuasca or Joe Biden or something like that. And it was like, wow, I was seeking for power externally my whole life, but really I saw that it was just emptiness inside me, and this is the Eastern thought and philosophy. And it's actually a smattering of all different kinds of philosophy, because the Eastern ones wouldn't talk about what I just said about this like vivid, like prayer. There's some traditions, but mostly in the Buddhist, it's about like this neutrality, right? And so, but I think all of it. I am this mystic medicine woman who wants to kind of like grab truth from all different directions and bring it into this wholeness and bring it into this like abundance cornucopia, and say like, yeah, man, this is a celebration of life. This is what's here for us. This is what we get to pray to. And so with that, let's sing a song on the harmonium. Could you imagine? Kelpie said, that's so cool. I could imagine. I am imagining it right now. Do you guys want to sing a Tibetan mantra? This might be hard for you guys to sing, but you can feel the frequency with me, perhaps. It's one of, talk about Eastern being wild. This is that for me, because I got taught this song on the way to Burning Man in 2016. It's the 7-line prayer to Guru Rinpoche. The words are challenging because they're in Tibetan, and if somebody wants to type in 7-line prayer to Guru Rinpoche in a browser and put it in the chat, you're more than welcome to. I'll start off slow singing it, and then we'll see if the energy shifts and it gets amplified. Om Benza Guru Padma Siri Om Om Benza Guru Padma Siri Om Benza Guru Padma Siri
약산 적인 어둡네 Emma journée résoudra 고독한 로맨 Che résoudra Gingilla c'est Puro per Umawong menzaguru ben masirio Umawong menzaguru ben masirio Umawong menzaguru ben masirio Umawong menzaguru ben masirio Organ Pujansa Kantagesa Tambora 약센적이 모두네 뱃마주네 제수가 모두 단로만 보고 대기 제수가 두기 진질함식 세숙소 구름밤 마스리오 오겐유기 누잡사 뱀마겠사 덕불라 약센적이도 내 뱀마주네 제수드라 고두만 도만 보고 대기지 쏟아두기 진실함식 세숙소 구름밤 마스리오 구름밤 마스리오 개누기 누잡사 뱀마겠사 덕불라 약센적이 모두네 대마주 백시수라 고독한 로만 보고 제수라 두기 진실함식 세수소 구름밤 마스리오 구름밤 마스리오 별명이 누답사 막 Om Om Benzaguru Padmasirion. Om Benzaguru Padmasirion. Om Benzaguru Padmasirion. Om Benzaguru
What is a transmission?
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I feel a lot of spaciousness at this moment, like we just cleared a lot of energy. And so with that, instead of going into another song, I actually want to kind of open the space for dialogue. I'd love if you guys wanted to ask questions. I could answer intuitively. I'm really good at that, by the way. Little secret hidden power. We can treat it like a radio show. Meaning like this person from Florida asks blah, 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 and have a little fun if you'd like to. We have like 25 minutes usually together. These usually go 90 minutes. We can end early too. That's fine. But yeah, I feel like I don't know, we just kind of like landed somewhere and I want to be with you all in presence. And so I know that's going to take a few moments for people to like think of a question and do that. So um yeah, but I'm feeling very strongly that that's what is supposed to happen right now, is that we're supposed to take questions from the audience. So I'm just going to be very patient and invite in questions. I can't see anybody on Substack if you guys are watching live. Unfortunately, with the Substack platform, I can only record using the app, so I have to use my iPad. And yeah, so I can't actually see. So forgive me if I miss a question that gets transmitted to me there. But for my people on Insight Timer, if you would like to share anything or ask any questions or share anything that you're going through in your life, now would be a really good time to just take an opportunity to say hello, Okay. Kate says, a beautiful, full, rich session today, Michelle. Thank you so much. Can you speak to having a block in the throat chakra and the key steps to unblocking it? Thank you for being a big blessing. What a wonderfully posed question. Thank you, Kate. Where in the world are you? I'm curious. If you want to put that, that would be really great. So Kate, one of my truths is that a lot of people feel that they have a blocked, how do I pronounce that? Duwamish land in Seattle, Washington. I'd love to know that. That's so beautiful. Thank you, everyone. This is really exactly what I wanted. Yes. So the Vishuddha chakra, the throat chakra, so often in our culture, and I don't know where this seed of this idea got imprinted, but a lot of people who I talk to say, I have a block in my throat. I actually, in my expertise, experience, whatever you want to call it, of working with people energetically, in certain cases, by the way, which might be your particular case, since this is coming to me so strongly, because I was going to say something else and then I just got a hit of information. And hopefully this isn't triggering to anyone, but we can have certain past lives where, human beings were very vicious to each other, meaning we have a lot of European history where there were torture devices and a lot of different things that happened around the neck itself. So I would say about 25% of my clientele actually have wounds in the psychic imprint, particularly focused on either being imprisoned or having some kind of, beheading, different kinds of experiences that are traumatized around this particular part of the being. So that can happen. I have had to. This is why my releasing the witch wound meditation is super popular, because so many people, if you look at the reviews of that meditation, have spoken about, oh my God, this is like super healing for me. And that was a very strong transmission that came through about healing the ways that we have been persecuted in the past. The voice itself, really, in truth, is a representation of a soul fingerprint, meaning like nobody has your fingerprints on your thumbs and nobody has your voice. Your voice is unique to you. And as I have been trained over the last 15 years by the universe and my guides and angels and my own higher self, probably in wisdom, is that there's distinctions that you can hear, qualities in the voice. Now, this is what I was originally going to say. And this goes into the first thing that we were talking about today, which is the mask that we wear. So when somebody comes to me or they talk or they fill out on the form to apply to work with me one-on-one and they say something around the words like, I have a block in my throat chakra, what I actually believe is that we have a block in our everything chakra. And really what's true is that we're contracting around fear. Now, the fear could be, like I said, in past lives because of persecution. The fear could be in this lifetime you received a certain trauma or you had an overbearing parent that wanted you to be a certain way. And therefore you learned that you had to shapeshift and show up a different way that was disconnected from your mental or your emotional clarity. Oh, we never did that exercise. Let's do that exercise actually. Yeah. This is a good time for that. Thank you for your question. That brings that back. That's so great. The way that I teach is often circular, very feminine. Yeah. So we want primarily when we're working with the chakra system specifically, always to root. Root chakra is everything. When we have something off in our ability to feel grounded and safe or not fearful, because that's the shadow side of that root chakra is fear, we can be in that true alignment where our head, our heart, our nervous system, our emotional body, mental body, we're all congruent. That is what allows us to share without fear of repercussion, fear of judgment. That's a huge one, by the way. Fear of judgment, I would say, for all of my Sylvia, love you, one of my Inner Temple community fans. I love Sylvia so much. Thank you so much for being here. A fear of judgment really is the biggest piece, and actually Sylvia's reminding me, we also can hold tension and anger and frustration in our jaw. And I know that I have like a little node here where the lymph nodes are, it can get quite tight if I've done a lot of healing work for other people. And I'm like, oh, I need to clear that, right? So we each have a very special relationship to this energetic center based on our past experiences as a soul. And in order to unblock it, we have to make sure that we're really grounded and we're doing grounding rituals and grounding practices and that we feel safe in our bodies. And then we also want to weave the head and the heart together. So let's do that together. And hopefully this answers your question. And Kate, I would love to know if I touched on anything that felt true. Let me know. And if you have follow-up questions based on anything I said, also let me know. So let me show you a little bit about one of the most important things, which is intention. Intention through the voice, intention through our vocal alignment, intention through our empowerment. So what does that look like? We come up with an intention, let's say, through the sixth chakra, through the mental awareness. And we say, I want more connection. And I feel that connection in my heart right now. And I ask so beautifully for this desire for intimacy, for connection. That's what I'm thinking I want. That's what I'm thinking that's lacking. That's what I'm calling to me. And then I'm feeling that energy in my heart. And you all can do that with your own intention right now in this moment. What are you wanting? What are you visioning for yourself? What are you calling in towards? What is your intention in your mind? And then feel that energy in your heart and fill up with it. Fill up with it completely. Like sing yourself awake, which we're about to do now. If that intention and that energy in your heart could make a sound, and you can even keep one hand right on your third eye and one hand on your heart, and then try to sense energetically the energy of your throat and feel which chakra out of these three that we're working with right now feels most alive. Does your head feel really buzzy and your eye far out, your third eye far out, or is it turned inward towards the heart? Does your heart feel really open, or does your heart feel a little bit numb and dense? It doesn't matter. Don't judge what's happening. Just be with whatever's there. And then feel if you can feel a congruence in this mental clarity of desire and in this feeling of embodied intention. And then if that could make a sound, that feeling, that clarity, that intention and attention, what sound would it make? So I'll give you an example. So my voice is making the sound, but it's coming through my heart, and it's coming through my heart based on what I thought in my head. Does that make sense? So everybody, let's practice that for another moment. Feel an energy in your heart, choose it in your mind, and make it with your voice. Oh, yeah. Right now I'm feeling play. And so those are some practices that you can do that will unblock your, I wouldn't say throat chakra, but really your energetic body. And disconnecting, by the way, there's another whole layer of this, which I do in my one-on-one work. How do I talk about that in a succinct way? Sometimes we have beliefs or personality parts, like in IFS, internal family systems, we have a critic, we have a judger, we have our mom's voice, we have all these different parts of our personality. So another whole layer is people feel blocked in their throat because there's some other being that's taking up space in their mental body. And that being is being like, don't do that. Don't speak that. Do this. Show up this way. Da 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 da. And it's impossible. And this is really what I help people with when I do my one-on-one, because what I notice with patterns like that, they actually need a coaching container. They need time to unwind. They need time to first be seen distinctively from the client. You would need to actually be in relationship, be in witness to it, and then make new agreements with that part of you. Again, bringing yourself back into this neutrality of your center, and then holding all of these other pieces. And this is individuation. This is the hero's journey. This is the journey of empowerment. And this is what I teach. Did that answer your question, Kate? I would love to know, how is everybody else feeling? Did that spark more questions? Does anybody else have questions? Sylvia, do you have a question? Can't wait. We have a Inner Temple next week. Is it next week? No, it's on the 14th. It's 2 weeks. I can't wait to see you. You have to do a one-on-one with me. Check your Telegram. I felt the same buzzing on my third eye as I did on my throat. Oh, lovely. You're so cute. I'm really grateful for you. You're a great person. How is anybody else doing? How is everybody else doing? How many people do we have? 88 people. Great. What a wonderful power number. Let's see if I can blow. So we sang a Tibetan mantra. I received this in Bali. I found this in a store, one of those Eastern Tibetan stores. Let me see if I can blow the conch shell. Not the best, but it is a sound for ceremony. It's also quite small. Yeah, we won't do that. But anyway, that's there. That's some airflow. Yeah, it's wonderful, Michelle. I'm healing right here and now. Oh, thanks for asking, Kate. Great. Anybody else? We have time for one more question if anybody else wants to share anything. I'm glad you guys like the conch shell. This is a very ceremonial tool. Obviously, this is like a little mini one. I think this was more ornate and designed. Well, Spirit just taught me how to play it. How cool is that? You have to command it. Haha. Thank you, Great Spirit. Yes, we have to command so much in our lives, huh? So beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Great. That was real being directed in the moment. You guys got to witness that. I love so deeply this service that I provide. My guides, I work with a medium who translates some of the energy of my guides to me, because obviously I can hear downloads and I receive so much when I'm in this space, but then I always like a check-in, and I'm like, what am I doing? This particular last session that I got with her, she gave me like a whole different body of knowledge, and I was like disoriented for a couple weeks, and then I understood some of the meanings of the lessons. But in this, and she said, it's very important for me in the work that I do to do some things for free, because it's the energy of the giveaway and the energy of giving, which is what we do here in this temple. It generates, good abundance. I've really noticed that. Like when I teach free workshops, when I do things, it's just like there's an energetic flow. And I'm somebody who doesn't really market very well. Like marketing energy doesn't work for my brand or my business. Service works, devotional leadership works, offering from truth works. And then from that business, the flow of abundance comes. And it's really an honoring of being of service. Oh, we've got different, if you want to sing, but I find myself getting in my head, how can you be more playful and less judgment? Oh, great question, Kelsey. Sylvia says, wow. And then Jojo says, command it. Yeah, we have to command. Very important. Okay, so Kelsey's question is, she wants to sing, but she finds herself getting in her head. I actually have some truths about this. How can you be more playful and less judgment? So, first piece, we'll work backwards. The part of you that judges, when I'm working on a client call with somebody, I ask them, I was just on with one of my favorite sisters last night, I was on a I was on a call, and she was talking about the part of herself that drives her incessantly to work overly, like you need to be doing more, you know? And I said, "What do you want to name that part of yourself?" And she came up with this really silly name, and I think that's really important is when you catch yourself judging yourself. She said, "Try hard." Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so if you're judging yourself, if you're judging yourself, whose voice is that? If it's inherited, that's good to know, right? Does it come from your lineage, right? Is it a survival program? If it's not, is it something that you were given? Is it imprinted into your psyche by an external place, whether it's societal conditioning? Okay. No. What if it's in me? What if I am afraid that I'm not good enough? Enough. That word, palpable enough for the moment. This gets transmuted when we don't think of the self-consciousness, but instead we imagine service. Service. It's an offering. My song, my prayer, my presence isn't connected necessarily to my anything, my ego, my identity, my enoughness, my what my me, right? It makes it a subtle shift. I want to sing for my creator. Beautiful. Well, your creator is probably not judging the tone or the quality of your song. The more that we build a relationship to our guides, to our higher self, to our higher powers, I see it like almost like a neural pathway. It's like we're carving a road. That same road that we talk about when we talk about the winged ones bring our prayers to Great Spirit. We pray, we attune. I think that's what gives me a sense of mastery versus the people who are learning from me, who are in my stewardship, my clients, my friends, my students. I think the only difference sometimes when I'm in a field with people and we're meditating is that I have memorized a certain energetic point of what it is to feel when I'm connected or when I'm in my channel or when I'm in my service. I can sense what that is. It's palpable to me. It's an energetic imprint. And it feels very familiar. And it feels like home. And I don't get to experience it often enough when I am in my daily life, mundane. I experience it when I'm in front of all of you and I'm teaching. I experience it when I'm out in the world on a stage channeling. And I experience it when I go into nature and silence. Then it's like this invisible world that I commune with is closer to me. So when we sing, we offer ourselves to that temple-like space. It's always there, though. But sometimes we're very busy. So if you can attune to that, if you can tune in to the wisdom, that's why I use the words tuning to wisdom. If you can tune to it, then the song, the voice, the exercise we were just doing, it becomes a prayer, an honest, real prayer. The song is the prayer. Maybe we could sing that Om Purnamida song again. I have the I was thinking, how do I play the music and maybe sing over it for that for the live track? I've never done that. I wonder if I could do that and we can close on that though. So if Sylvia had wrote something so beautiful, great. So I hope that answers, Kelsey, your question. It feels like that was a transmission. Amen, she says. I understand. So good. Yeah. Self-consciousness is a huge, huge, huge thing as somebody who teaches self-expression that I offer to people. And there are so many reasons why we have it. And a lot of it is that we haven't felt safe. You know, none of us have felt safe being our true selves in this world, unfortunately, with the way that it's organized right now. And it's also a huge block to us being a vessel of spirit and using our voice and being seen and being vulnerable. All of these are layers and layers and layers that over time and over maturity, you know, you'll often hear people be like, oh, I turned 60 and I no longer gave any F's about how somebody thought about me, you know. But how do we do that when we're not 60 years old? How do we have the same kind of dignity and self-respect in our 20s that we eventually acquire by shedding and less giving our power away to all of these external things that we tend to give our power away to? And I think that's really the core essence of my work and these teachings. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are connecting in the chat. So Sylvia said something nice to Kelsey, apparently. Okay, so let me read it out loud so everybody can know it. Sylvia says, wow, this reminds me that at one point I couldn't sing alone because of how much I was judging it. Sylvia has a beautiful journey with your voice. Yep, I've gotten to witness that. It's been a couple of decades since, and I haven't experienced stopping myself for years now. Just keep the intention and keep singing when you can help it. And it becomes easier and more natural. Oh, and Kelsey said the fingerprints of the soul really resonates with me. I can speak a little bit to Sylvia's journey too, since I've worked with you so deeply, Sylvia. It's also removing some of the congestion, I would say, that we carry in our auric field, because there might be, like I said, other people living in our field, right? Like our parents, our loved ones, maybe relationships we don't no longer need to be in. All these things, in a way, to be honest, can block the Vishuddha, can block the throat chakra. And what that really symbolizes is, if I have a lot of other commitments or attachments or things that are not congruent in my inner truths, then they prohibit me from being a voice as Vetzel, from speaking my authentic soul self, from really radiating who I truly am as a soul. Even if I love these people, sometimes the tethers on who I have to contort myself to be, because their ego mind net is so strong that I end up shape-shifting and I'm in a relationship. But it's like, you can only sing and be fully yourself in your power when you're really congruent. And I feel like that's such a mirror of the voice. And that's why I say, when I listen to somebody on a one-on-one call, I can hear where they're contracted. I can hear where they're not showing up as their full self. I can hear what their agreements are, subtly and subconscious, perhaps. You have these subtle agreements that you're not even aware of, that are contracting your true nature from being revealed, even to yourself. And that's this journey of self-mastery. Kate, thanks for your donation. Yes, I take donations from this platform that they just magically appear. I don't even pay attention to them, but then they magically appear, and it's like, you just got $75. And I'm like, oh, great. That's wonderful. Kelsey says, my beautiful mama is starting to sing. She is nervous, and we sang together the other day. What a gorgeous thing to sing with your mama. Thanks for being here with me and letting me express this, sharing your all stories. So good. 96 of us. All right, let's close with one Purnamada mantra. Since we're pretty much at time, I won't go crazy with the cheese whiz, as that Beck song says, which is, oh, by the way, I drew a card in the beginning, and it says, this oracle brings a message. There is a time to work hard, and there is a time to allow the fruits of one's labor to manifest. When one may be carried by forces set in motion by the energy of life itself, you can let go and move further, reach farther with less effort. Now is the time to give yourself permission to stop paddling and instead just ride the wave. Give in, let go, and be moved. So I'll just sing the mantra and then we'll close. How's that? And as I said, by the way, you guys, on Spotify, I'm Michelle Infinity. I would love for you guys to follow me who uses Spotify. I use Spotify all the time. I'm just starting an artist page. This will be a 2-song EP that's coming out on May 16th. You can there's a link on my Instagram to follow when the song comes out, which you can get better from your browser. You can find me everywhere, Michelle Infinity. If you want one-on-one coaching, you can let me know. And yeah, the music for the song is really beautiful. A wonderful producer named DTO created it, and I won't pull up that part now. Maybe next week I'll figure that out so we can sing it. But the mantra goes like this. So I'll just sing the mantra and we'll thank the guides and then we'll close our circle for today. And I want to thank all of you so much for being here. I couldn't do this without you. Literally, it's an honor. Oh, oh,
Purnamida Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamaya Purnameva Vashishyate Purnamada Purnamida Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Om Yahe Om Yahe Om
And so with that, we thank the angels that we called in, all of our winged ones, our ascended masters, our dearly departed loved ones, all of the beautiful beings that are invisible. We are so grateful We are so grateful for Insight Timer for allowing us this platform to which we can gather. We are super, super grateful for the abundance that comes into our lives in all of the forms that it comes into our lives. We are grateful for the giveaway, for the free service, for the offering our hearts of devotion to Spirit. And we are grateful for the synergy of our invisible way of walking on this world, where we remember that we are this higher octave of our infinite love and consciousness, the kind of consciousness and infinite love that permeates all things, that magnetizes beauty and sophistication and brings miracles into our lives. And so we say, Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bori Soham. We are so grateful for all of the Tibetan energies and the deities and the beautiful conch shell, and honoring all of the wisdom traditions, because these wisdom traditions have pointed a way for us to understand and acknowledge these pieces of ourselves that we may not have had an ability to if the yogis, the rishis, and those who devoted themselves to spirits didn't go before us and carve out this path. Thank you to the great above, the great below, the directions of the north, the south, the east, the west, the stones and bones of this world, and all of the infinite beings. We are so grateful for the purification and the high frequency of our circle. And we are so grateful for walking as if we have wings in this world, this remembrance of who we truly are, what we serve, and what our path is. Aho, namaste, and so it is. In love, light, and warrior spirit. My name is Michelle Coutinho, Michelle Infinity. You can find me everywhere, Michelle Infinity. Big hugs to all of you. Blessings, blessings, blessings. We are so blessed to be able to gather. I'll see you all next week. I'm going to be putting up my dates for May. Happy Beltane. And for those of you who want to find me on Substack, Michelle Infinity, you definitely can. And yeah, all of my love. What a beautiful ceremony, you guys. Again, it's my, yes, thank you. Very powerful. Love, 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 love. Powerful for me as well. Your presence gives the field and dedication for each circle that I do. I am a mirror and a bridge between the infinite and all of you. So thanks for allowing me to do my work and my dharma and my service in the world. Thank you for your beautiful donations. If you want to work with me, call me. And yeah, really an honor. I'll see you guys next week. Such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh. All right, I'm gonna sign off. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. All right. Wow. A blessing. Thank you, Substack. Thank you to the two people watching live. Terry Lay, my old beautiful friend. Terry, if you're still watching, hi. Remember me in 2011? You were just helping me find myself a little bit at a time. Still learning some of those lessons too. And always, always growing. But thank you for your guidance. We all show each other the way. Aho.